Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 5. As you can see, I'm sporting my custom-made mask. I am lucky enough to have an aunt who likes to sew. She actually made my wife and I both masks. Now, El Paso is coming up with a mandate to wear masks, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you wear something to cover up your face. Now, I want to go over something real quickly, okay? Masks really aren't there to protect you. They are there to protect other people. So, because lots of people, especially young, healthy people, may get the virus and not show any signs, not show any symptoms, we can be carriers and we can get other people sick. All right. And so wearing a mask keeps you from infecting someone else. Right. And so if two people are wearing masks and they're practicing social distancing, and even if and if one of them is sick, if both of them are wearing masks, the likelihood of that sickness transferring to that other person drastically diminishes, which is why they've decided to do this. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, buy a mask. If you can't, come up with something to cover up your face. All right, the research is showing us that that should make a really big difference in the transfer of this disease from person to person. And remember, the reason why we're social distancing, the reason why we're not at school, the reason why we're staying away from each other, the reason why things are shut down is because we are trying not to overwhelm the healthcare system. That's what's really important. Flattening the curve is about not overwhelming the healthcare system, because since 100% of people can get sick from the coronavirus, that means that we can overwhelm our hospitals, take up hospital beds, and that means that other people who need care may not get it, and that can cause huge problems, right? So the reason why we're doing this is to flatten the curve, to keep as many people from getting, to drop the amount of people getting sick so that we don't overwhelm our hospital system, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's just a little public advertising, not advertising, I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another wonderful week, okay? We're going to be doing a lot of the same stuff. It's not going to change up too much, but as usual, I'm going to go over some stuff. I hope you really enjoyed the previous readings. A lot of people, one of the reasons why people love Greek mythology is because they're really great stories and they can be empowering. So I hope that some of these stories were empowering to you during this strange time. And I hope that a lot of you were really able to think about things that you're great at and things that you like about yourselves, and write about yourselves in a heroic way, so that you can understand that during this time where we seem as though we might be powerless, we should all understand that we have great value, and that we are going to be able to overcome. This is a difficult situation, but we will all be able to overcome this if we work together, if we if we're smart about this, and if we think about others, and if we think about what we can do to help others, we're going to come out of this just fine, right? And so Greek mythology, these stories can help people during this strange time, because it can give you that boost. It can make you feel that it can make you feel like you matter, that you're important, and that you can change the world, because it's absolutely true, right? And so we may not be heroes in the sense of Greek mythology, the way Greek mythology portrays their heroes, right? Where we're fighting people and all that kind of stuff. But we are all heroes in our own way, especially you all, right? You all have decided to go down this path in medicine, so that you can become heroes and so that you can help other people. And nothing has highlighted that more than this pandemic. Ordinary people becoming extraordinary, helping the people around them, and becoming heroes in their own regard, right? So I hope that you can really read these stories in order to escape, in order to get away, in order to just really enjoy something, have some entertainment, but also to remind yourself that, yeah, you are a hero as well, right? We are all heroes in our own way. We all do things in our own way to help other people, and that can make us heroic, right? And so, yeah, no, we don't need to be fighting people off, but just acts of compassion, helping others, doing what is right for the common good can make us all heroes. Okay, so we're gonna take a little shift. All right, we're gonna go from there we go. I'm back. We're gonna go from heroes, and we're gonna go into another great Greek theme, love, right? I know that you guys love talking about love, like you love Romeo and Juliet. Oh, that's right, that wasn't really love, but we're gonna talk about love, love, ladies and gentlemen. People love Greek stories, Greek mythology stories because they love love, and the Greeks really do. I don't know that I'm gonna say that they do love right because their stories are wild, right? The stories are wild. Definitely not the way I would do it, but hey, man, to each their own. But we're gonna read about some great love stories from Greek mythology. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you all, and we're gonna go over this like we have been in the past. There I am. Hi, everybody. Wish I put myself on the bottom. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you have the Make Me More Famous video. My wife is not happy with the amount of subscribers that I got. So make sure you subscribe. I was, however, told that I'm doing a pretty bad job of trying to get people on. People told me that I needed to have a intro and some intro music and an outro. And you all know how my outro went last week. It was not very good. I don't think I'm going to try it again because I did such a terrible job. But make me more famous. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you like it. I don't know. I don't know what you guys, I don't know. I really don't know. But just watch the video. If you're watching this, then you're doing great. Okay, so make me more famous. You have to view the item. Now, I decided to change things up a little bit. I'm no longer making it sequential because some people are having problems with that. So I'm no longer making it sequential, but you must view them. Okay, you must view and you must complete. So I can still see these. It should still be getting check marks. Okay, now I decided to change it up a little bit again. Last week I had 2 assignments, and then out of the assignment I had a quiz with both chapters. But this week I'm going to do it a little differently, just because that's just kind of the way it shook out. Okay, so we've got chapter 5, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 5 is a story about Cupid and Psyche. This story is really interesting, and I really like it because it's very suspenseful. So really, take your time and enjoy it, and understand that it's a very suspenseful story, and it kind of gets your stomach in knots. All right, so make sure that here's a chapter. Read the PDF, and then you have the chapter quiz. 10 questions, 15 minutes, 10 points each. All right, but there is a huge test bank. You may take it twice. I will keep the highest grade. But remember that there's a huge test bank, and if you take it a second time, the likelihood is you're going to get a completely different quiz, okay? So make sure you read and then take the quiz. All right, so that's chapter 5. Simple stuff. Then, Then we got chapter 6, okay? Chapter 6 is 8 brief tales of lovers. Really interesting stories. One that very closely resembles a certain story that we read this year. So I want to see if you guys can figure that out. But this is 8 brief tales of lovers. Okay, read through the PDF, and same thing. Quiz. You can take it 2 times. Highest grade stays, and 10 questions, 10 points each. 15 minutes for you to complete it. Okay. Okay. That's that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we come to your assignments. So you see I flip-flopped it a little bit. All right, now your assignment is the last thing that you're going to do. Okay, this is called reality. So a lot of these stories seem crazy, seem bizarre, seem out of this world, and for a lot of people, it can be something that they can't relate to, or they feel like it's crazy or it's too much, and therefore they kind of lose it. It's hard to take these stories seriously, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, all of these stories, the reason why they withstood the test of time, just like Romeo and Juliet, right? Romeo and Juliet is taught today in schools across the country because its themes have withstood the test of time, and even though it was written about a long time ago, it is still relatable to people today, right? Well, the same can be said about Greek mythology, right? Nothing withstands the test of time. Nothing lasts in history for that long if it isn't relevant to people in some way, okay? So Greek mythology is no different. So it may seem crazy, it may seem nuts, but there's always going to be things in there that strike a chord with people, that are meaningful to people, and that can help people. And so once again, just like with the House on Mango Street, just like with Fahrenheit 451, just like with House of Mango Street, and a bunch of the characters, and just like Fahrenheit 451 with Clarice, and just like Romeo and Juliet with both Romeo and Juliet, we're not meant to read those stories in order to point the finger. We're meant to read those stories and look at ourselves in the mirror and understand that we can be like that sometimes, or that we can learn things from this story, right? So don't point the finger and say, God, these stories are nuts. Instead, try to use that as an opportunity to reflect and become better, right? Like that's what is so valuable and so meaningful when it comes to literature, is that it gives us this opportunity to live through these lives of other people, learn from their mistakes or learn from the things that they do right, and really reflect upon ourselves and help us become better people. All right, so I want you to do that. I want you to find a specific story or a specific moment from a story. I want you to tell me where you're drawing this from. And I want you to come up with 2 paragraphs submitted in MLA format, submitted here on Schoology, where you talk about that. Like, what from any of these stories, although it may seem far-fetched or mystical or out of this world, right? What resonated with you? What struck you? What was meaningful to you? And I want you to really elaborate on that, and I want you to extrapolate that, and I want you to be able to write about it in a way, okay? So this is an opportunity for you to sit down, think about yourself, think about your life, and think about how you can reflect. But it's also an opportunity for you to make a personal connection to the story. And remember, when you make personal connections to the story, it makes these stories so much better, right? Because it's more meaningful to you now. All right, and that means that you're now that when you make a personal connection, you're reading with purpose, you create a stronger bond with what you're reading, which makes it more likely for you to remember it. Okay, so I want you to find those moments, and I want you to be able to discuss those moments. So minimum of 2 paragraphs. Of course, you can always do more. Okay, so that's it. I mean, it's a little bit less reading. I think it's like 24 pages. Everything will be due on Sunday, and you have 2 quizzes and 1 assignment, okay? And I think that we're right at where I want to be in regards to the amount of work that you guys are doing. And hopefully this doesn't change it too much, okay? So I'm gonna stop sharing now. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Remember, we'll meet on Monday and Tuesday. We do not need to meet we're not meeting any more than that. If you have questions, shoot me a remind, shoot me an email. Sometimes my reminds been acting a little finicky, but for the most part, I see it really quickly and I respond really quickly. And I'm gonna try to do it better. I'm gonna do even better in responding back to you in a timely manner this week. But for some reason, sometimes it doesn't let me respond. But if you really can't get a hold of me, shoot me an email, and I'll respond quickly to you all. Okay. And if you need help, let me know, because we can always do something extra, right? So like if you're really having trouble with something, we can set up a video conference where I can show you how to do something. Or if you just really need help with something, we can figure something out so we can work one-on-one, right? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have. Remember, make sure that you follow a routine. Make sure you do things that you like. Make sure that you're getting outside and getting some sun. Make sure that you're still staying in contact and socializing with people while social distancing. But FaceTime with people, call people. Make sure that you keep those connections with your friends, with your family. Don't isolate yourselves, right? This is a very difficult time. For some people, it can be a very dark time, but that doesn't mean, but you can do things to make it better. Okay, I'm not saying that it's gonna make it all go away, but you can do things that can make it better, right? So having a routine, doing something physical, getting outside, getting some sun, and maintaining those social connections with people, either electronically, can really reduce anxiety, it can reduce stress, and it can make things seem more normal. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you all are amazing, smart, intelligent, hardworking, dedicated people, and I'm super proud of you. I'm so proud of all of you who are continuing to work during this very strange and difficult time. So, keep up the good work. I'm proud of you. And help out your parents with some stuff, because they're stressed out too. Do the dishes, do some laundry, clean up a little bit, help them out. All right. All right. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, if you need anything, let me know. Even outside of just schoolwork, if you and your family are going through some difficult situations, let me know because we can help. District can help. The school can help, and we can get you contacts, or hopefully we can get you the help that you need. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and I hope you have a great. Sorry, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will see you on Monday and Tuesday, and look out for the next assignment next week. Bye.